Now, Markiplier did something pretty unique and is starting somewhat of a trend with something called the Try Not to Get Age Restricted Challenge.
Don't tell anybody. Now, before you go looking it up on Steam, well, maybe I don't know if I can show you.
Jacksepticeye made one of his own.
Just in case people think you're weird for looking at this on a laptop in Starbucks, maybe look at it at home on your own.
Hello everyone, and today we are talking about the questionable behavior of Twitch and YouTube, where it seems there is some blatant favoritism. As someone who really loves the YouTube community, this really frustrates me because it brings in the idea that not everyone is on the equal playing field, where Corey, we're going to go into, believes it's possibly favoritism and racism. And then on Twitch, Gideon believes it's favoritism and sexism. But before we go into Twitch, I'd like to go into YouTube and Corey's video.
I don't want there to be any lost context. I don't want to just look like I'm coming out of nowhere having a temper tantrum because these things are happening. The allegations I am levying towards YouTube are extremely serious. There have been certain situations that I looked at kind of funny. I said, it could be because of that, but nah, I'm not trying to press that. I don't want to build that narrative around my YouTube channel. This time, I can no longer let it slide.
I have my doubts YouTube will respond to this or anything else, but at the very least, I think it's important for creators to know and for the general public to know about these issues.
August 18th, I uploaded The Mortuary Assistant. A lot of you would know it got age restricted. YouTube didn't tell me why. I saw that all these other YouTubers were playing The Mortuary Assistant and only my video seemed to be age restricted. And I looked, appeal rejected. They doubled down. The policy team said, no, Corey.
I have been doing YouTube for a year now, as of August 27th, and I have yet to get anything age restricted, which is good. But if I ever do, I wouldn't know how to appeal it, or even if it would be worth appealing, because it seems like 9 times out of 10, they just double down and reject the appeal. For those who may not know what an age restriction is on YouTube, it basically means that the content is deemed not suitable for anyone under 18, which means unless you're signed into a YouTube account and are over 18, you cannot watch the video. And there lies the problem. They don't get any ads, and depending on how large their channel is, their viewers just won't find the video in the first place, because YouTube is not going to put that in the algorithm.
So I go to Markiplier's Mortuary Assistant Part 3, and he had the same situation going on, and his video wasn't age restricted. So I send the video to my YouTube rep. I say, hey, Markiplier has this situation in his video. They came back and they removed my age restriction. They took it off after they already rejected my appeal.
I have to agree with Corey that this sounds extremely strange that they would give him an age restriction, reject his appeal, then he sends them the clip of Markiplier with the same situation in the game, which has dark undertones and themes, and then remove his age restriction.
So I send my YouTube rep a lengthy email detailing my feelings about the entire situation, feeling like there was some favoritism at play. There was either that or some racism at play. So another day, another 2 days go by, and what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down.
Not to take away from anything that Corey has said, but I have seen a lot of people who play horror games do get the boot when it comes to age restrictions.
Age restriction ramp up has actually been happening for several months site-wide, and it has been specifically targeting people who play horror games, which people that play horror games typically aren't gonna make big viral Twitter posts about it, so you may not have heard about it. There was some change in policy over at YouTube. They've gotten a lot more aggressive with these age restrictions, and there seem to be only a few things that can trigger it. Number one, temptation. Second one is just if there's any dismembered limbs of any kind floating around, any hanging bodies, with a news or any kind of implication that they aren't. That seems to be one that the age restrictions are coming at really aggressively.
So based on what John Wolf said, some of these age restrictions do make sense. Because why would YouTube want this violent sort of content on the platform? But at the same time, it is not real. It is a video game. And they really need to be transparent with exactly what it is that's getting the age restriction. And they need to learn to differentiate what is real and what is a video game. Although I do think that some things should be age restricted, but they must be transparent with the creators about this and not just nuke their whole channel. And if you're unaware, horror video games used to be sort of the backbone of YouTube, at least in my opinion. My first experience with YouTube was PewDiePie playing Amnesia.
Turn off the lantern. All right, leg, teach me how to run fast.
Now, according to this crackdown of age restrictions, this likely would have also been age restricted. But either way, times do change, but like I have repeated multiple times, YouTube needs to be transparent with these things with their creators. But now we're going to move on to the problems I have with Twitch.
Twitch has been sexist for years, and they have gone unchecked. So many people have tried to come out, but it just gets brushed under the rug. They just ignore everything. Girl has sexual relations live on stream. I couldn't believe it. You could actually see everything that was happening.
I seen this on Twitter as well, and it was just absolutely insane. Where she wasn't showing her body, but she didn't realize there was a reflection in her window, so you could unfortunately see what was really going on. But to kind of recap Gideon, I did do a video on this, and I don't really remember the things I said, but now I don't really feel Gideon is a bad guy. I do believe he was in his head and said really stupid things that I do not condone, and I believe he's apologized for all of it now. He spammed L's in Pokemon's chat, which was deemed a hate raid, and just was saying really awful things about Pokimane and tripled, quadrupled down on Twitter. Twitch didn't like that. He got permanently banned. I disagree with the permaban for sure. I agree with maybe a month ban because he continued to troll her on Twitter and didn't stop after he was temporarily banned on Twitch.
I know why, but like, how long are you banned for?
7 days.
What the? 7 days. She was banned for 7 days.
That ban does not seem quite large enough for the act she had committed, because that is very against the terms of service. Instead of it being deemed the actual act, it was deemed a simulation of the act, which has a lesser sentence. Which is kind of ridiculous because, like I said, there was a reflection, but only 7 days for doing that versus Gideon's permanent ban for a hate raid, which is people spamming in someone else's chat hatefully. It doesn't really feel like the punishment fits the crime here.
Huge creators talking about it. Twitch and everybody's mentioned. So you would think something this big, this major would go on trending. And it did. It went on trending for about an hour. Then it was taken off.
It is very strange how that was trending and it suddenly disappeared in only an hour. Because I seen that being a top topic for hours and maybe even days.
The thing with Twitch is it doesn't matter if you do stuff on their platform. If you do stuff anywhere else, they can still ban you. So this girl, she was banned on Twitch. So she went on Twitter and said, I want to myself and people at Twitch HQ. Ha 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 ha. This is a threatening people at Twitch HQ, right? They extend her ban, obviously, to a perma. She wrote an apology letter to Twitch, and this is Twitch's response. After reviewing your case, we confirm that the correct enforcement was issued. However, given the details of your case, including the remorse expressed in your appeal, we have decided to reduce your suspension duration. Your suspension has been adjusted to expire in 22 calendar days.
I think it's absolutely insane that Twitch just allowed her to come back in 22 days after threatening them and their lives and to unalive her own self, but because there was remorse, it's fine. Well, Gideon also expressed remorse for his actions that were not even close to hers. This is the reason why Gideon says or believes Twitch is sexist, because of the disproportionate punishment from what happens to be the opposite sex.
A female Twitch streamer literally showed her genitalia on stream. Straight up showed her genitalia on purpose. And guess what happened? 3-day ban. 3 days.
And the person that actually showed her lady parts on stream only got 3 days versus someone who didn't fully show everything on stream got 7. This is once again an example of disproportionate punishment. That person should have gotten far more ban time. Either way, there should have been more ban time for something like that.
You ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Twitch. There can be a terms of service for girls and then a terms of service for boys. Friend Kai, a black creator over on Twitch. Kai Cenat is the largest and fastest growing streamer on Twitch. Twitch hasn't acknowledged him on Twitter, on any of their social medias. Twitch hasn't ever reached out to him. A black man, perhaps, wasn't even using the word monkey in a racist or derogatory way. Said monkey, got banned for a month.
So according to Gideon, threatening to harm the people that work at Twitch is just as bad as saying monkey in a non-derogatory way. Now that is so disproportionate. I have to admit, it does seem like the women on Twitch play by different rules than the men on Twitch. And I'm all for that equality. We gotta be on equal playing fields here.
If you guys don't remember, a couple months ago, there was a Buffalo mass shooting where an armed man literally was looking for people of color and he live streamed it on Twitch. He literally live streamed it on Twitch. I seen it with my own eyes, not the video, but I seen countless of creators adding Twitch. Twitch, when are you gonna respond? Twitch, we need a response from you. Nothing.
I do remember seeing articles about that and the thumbnail that was made automatically by Twitch where you could see a gun. It's just terrible because I never seen any sort of statement or sympathy to the families in that regard at all. I understand not wanting negative publicity, but these are human beings and should be treated with respect. And that also goes for all the creators on all the platforms. They should also be treated with respect. Going back to YouTube, they need to be more transparent with their policies, what does what, and who does what. Leaving creators in the dark is not helping anyone except YouTube. So I was almost done recording this video when I heard something that I found to be absolutely insane. A content creator got a community guideline strike on a video that was 11 months old for harmful content, when it didn't show anything that was harmful. It was about a challenge where kids would vandalize things. It wasn't glorifying it at all, just simply talking about it. And mind you, other bigger YouTube channels like Optimus and Charlie have talked about it in the past as well. They don't have community guideline strikes. And for those of you who may not know, community guideline strikes are incredibly scary to get because 3 strikes, you're out. They will terminate your YouTube channel. That is absolutely not something you would throw out willy-nilly. I mean, in this instance, if they think it's so horrible, actually age restrict the video. I mean, really, why go so far as to harm someone's livelihood like that? It's an 11-month-old video, so an age restriction probably would not have harmed his channel as badly as this is. In response to this, Optimus created a hashtag #GetItTogetherYouTube, so if you'd like to use it, you can. I agree. YouTube does need to get it together at this point. I was trying to be a little nice to YouTube since I was kind of harsh on them in the Ackman situation, but it seems like we just need to be harsh to YouTube all the time. But I'll let the rest of the video play out for you. But in order for YouTube to still function, well, it needs its creators, so they should treat them, well, decently like humans. And the same goes for Twitch. They need to issue their bans and punishments equally to each individual. There are so many people on the other side of the screen at Twitch and at YouTube, but it seems like maybe they rely too heavily on bots and the automated systems that they have in place. But humans also need to be held accountable for their lack of due diligence on behalf of the creators, and more straightforward guidelines for them to follow instead of them kind of going off what they feel, perhaps. They feel maybe this is too much for YouTube, or they feel like this is too much for Twitch. Whatever it is, it needs to be more set in stone instead of people going off whims. At the end of it all, it might seem a little idealistic of me to want, but it doesn't seem like I would be asking for very much, as well as everyone else who has the same criticisms. But please let me know what you think down in the comments below, but I will see y'all next time. Bye!